From two dirty painters to multiple seven-figure business owners, I'm Redion.
And I'm Karmelo.
And I'll be giving you guys the insider secrets to take your trades business to the next level.
From crazy stories to proven strategies, get ready to supercharge your business with us.
Welcome to the Dirty Painters Podcast.
In today's episode, we'll be telling you 10 reasons why your marketing sucks. Listen in to hear how you can grow your brand through better marketing strategies. Let's get right into it. 10 reasons why your marketing sucks.
And guys,
Capital letters.
It's not because we know everything. It's because we've tested and we've tried and we run so many marketing dollars, not just for our business, but like so many other different businesses. That doesn't make us know it all. It just makes us very experienced on doing marketing for painting businesses. We identified the 10 most common reasons why our marketing sucked, why your marketing sucks, and why you're not seeing the results that you want to see and you're not getting the return on investment that you were expecting to get.
So let's start off with number one, which I think is probably one of the more important ones. Lack of target audience understanding. Not knowing who your ideal customer is can lead to irrelevant messaging. Figure out your ideal avatar and create your preset demographic.
So it's crazy how many ads I get from other painting companies that they're not. Again, I live in Florida, and I'll get ads from other painters that are like the most recent ones. I got ads from painters like in Arizona, Texas, California. Like I'm nowhere near their target audience. That's a very common mistake that we see other painting companies do. They don't run their ads properly, or they don't target their ads to homeowners. And then we noticed in the beginning when we were making that mistake, a lot of times our ads would be showing to other painters, and then next thing you know, we're getting all these people reaching out asking for work. So is your target audience other painters, or is it homeowners and people who want to hire? So that's what we mean by target audience. You need to use the right demographics. You need to use the right targeting locations. You need to build your ads a certain way so they're not showing to uninterested eyes. And then the most common one is an ad is not showing the right audience when you start getting other painters calling you up and asking you for work. That's the most common reason.
I think most of them that run those ads, they just see because there's always the boost post, recommended posts.
Yeah.
You should never opt for those because it's Instagram does it to benefit themselves.
Yeah, they just boost automatic and they just show it to everybody. There's more that goes into it.
Number two, poor branding. Weak or inconsistent branding can confuse potential customers and dilute their message. Figure out what your brand stands for and keep building up on that. You can't just be all over the place. I've seen a lot of people just have very different services too as a painting company, so it just confuses the heck out of people.
So the most common thing is so-and-so's painting and more. I hate seeing that. That's like, to me as a consumer, it's so confusing. What do you mean and more? What else do you do? Like make sandwiches? Do you make coffees? Do you like have a pizza place? Just like and more, and then they have like a laundry list of like, yeah, I do electrical, I do this, and then you are a general contractor or you're a builder. You're not a painting company. So that's the most common theme that I see in every market that we've been at. You have to really narrow down and then build your brand specific of what you're good at. And then if you're doing other services, you can pass those in, when you're at an estimate, if a customer asks if you're doing something. But advertising and more, it looks very unprofessional. It looks like I'm just hiring a jack of all trades. He's just going to be just good enough, hopefully, to do all that work. I'm not hiring a professional painter that specializes only in painting, and that's what they're good at. That's how they thrive. So that's one way to have inconsistent branding. And number two, your colors, you have different color t-shirts, different color business cards. Your website is different than your social media presence. That inconsistency, it just shows very unprofessional to potential customers, to your competitors, to your market.
I believe we're a good example of that because we don't really fully advertise our like full Renos or all that stuff. We mainly do our painting, cabinets, exteriors, interiors. Those are just add-ons for like.
Yeah,
Hey,
our ads condition our audience, and then our audience is conditioned that okay, Olympian Painting is a painting company. It's not Olympian Painting and more. But people ask us, do you do tile work? Again, we get so many leads every day. People ask us like, do you know somebody that does this? And then that's the reason we started doing all the other stuff, because of the demand. People were like all the time like, oh, do you do this? Do you do this? We're like, you know what? There's actually a demand. Let's put some crews in place that we can satisfy the demand for backsplashes, floors, tile floors, carpentry, drywall, stucco, all those things that are complementary to painting. But we're not Olympian Painting anymore. We're just Olympian Painting. That's it. Everything else is complementary. It's like, what do you call it? Like a la carte.
a la carte. Yeah.
So you get the steak, which is the paint, but
These are the sides.
the sides
or
you
the
have to
premium
ask for
toppings.
them.
Yeah. Black
So-
truffle butter, backsplash.
Exactly. You know, when you go to a restaurant, the steaks are in like the big menu, and like the sides are like in a little corner on the bottom, so you can barely see them. Like, that's not how they make their money. They make their money on the steaks, and the sides are just like the complimentary. They don't want you filling up with all the sides. They want you to like get the big steak, and then you get as many little sides as possible.
That's a great analogy. Number 3, insufficient research. Failing to analyze competitors or market trends can result in missed opportunities and ineffective strategies.
So I know a lot of business owners out there, they're not marketers, and I'm not a marketer myself. I just spend a lot of money doing marketing, so I learned things by getting screwed over and trying things that don't work and then figuring out what things work. So a lot of you out there, like I said, you're not marketers, but you have, even if you hire a marketing company, or even if you decide to do it yourself, you have to learn. You have to learn how to do your market research. You have to look at your competitors' ads. You have to understand certain metrics. You have to see how the market around you advertises, because it's a very competitive field. It's like a bidding war. You have to be prepared to go to a bidding war with all your competitors for attention.
Number 4, weak value proposition. Articulate what makes your product or service unique and why it matters. Focus on benefits, not just features. And also, be authentic. Use honest and straightforward language. Customers appreciate transparency and are more likely to trust a genuine message.
So how good is your offer? 8 out of 10 advertisements I see for painting companies, they suck, because they're like, oh, get 50% discount. It's a before and after. They don't showcase the customer why they should choose them. Advertising, just paying for ads, paying for attention, paying for traffic, it's simple, it's easy. But you can have all the budget in the world to use for ads. If your offer sucks, people won't take it. You can show your ad to 100,000 people, and then your offer just sucks. You might get a few hits, but most likely you will get nothing. And we know a lot of people reach out to us about ads, and then they're working with other marketing agencies, or they're doing them themselves. The first thing I don't ask what your budget is. I ask what your offer is. Let me see what you're advertising to your customer. And then usually it's like, free estimate, free consultation, discount, which I'm a huge fan of not running discount ads, because it just looks, why are your services on discount? Are you using cheap materials? Are you not good enough to be busy? They're just horrible ads. That's why you need to work and structure your offer to speak and talk to your target customer, your target avatar. That way you can bring more of those people in. And then that's why I think you need to spend more time when you're building your marketing campaigns. You need to spend more time on what the customer gets by choosing your company and showcasing how good their life will be after they choose you to do their project, versus trying to give them a discount or showcasing like, oh, I use the best paint, I use this, I use the best of everything. Just sell them the vision of like, hey, if you end up working with us for cabinets, this is what your kitchen is gonna look like, and then this is how your day-to-day is going to be. You're going to have easy maintenance on them. They're going to be scuff resistance, whatever. Show them the product in action and then help them visualize what it would be like if they have, for example, the kitchen cabinets painted by you. So work on your offer first, and then you can really get results with like very low budgets if your offer is good and if you're targeting the right audience.
Number 5, neglecting digital presence. In today's world, ignoring social media and online marketing can severely limit reach and engagement. Not having an Instagram, for example, it's you're missing out on a free online portfolio that people can easily shift through and take a look at your mission statement, your brand, your projects, anything that's related to you and your company and your services.
Yeah, there's no excuses on not having. I mean, a lot of painting companies out there, they don't even have websites, which blows my mind, but that's a fact. A lot of painting companies, they don't even have a simple website, but there's no excuse to not have an Instagram page. And I know in this podcast, we talk about the importance of social media and how important it is to have an online presence. So literally, there's no excuse. You're just lazy. You just make excuses. You're like, oh, I don't have time to post on Instagram. It doesn't take that long. Even if you post shit, you don't have to have a production team. If you just post, just showcase your work. It takes like 15 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. You don't have to have a professional videographer or anything. Just take pictures of your finished projects. That way, your Instagram page can work as your portfolio to potential customers. Even if you're not running paid ads, still, you have to have some online presence. Your work needs to be showcased somehow, somewhere. So just do it for free. If you can afford a website, use Instagram. Use, I don't know, all the other media platforms are free. So there's no excuse for you to have 10 posts on your Instagram and you've been in business for 5 years, or you're on your Facebook. It's crazy to me. Some of these business owners out there, they think they're killing it and all that, and they go and they have 10 posts on your social media. What are you killing it at? It clearly doesn't seem like you're killing it. You have 10 projects, so I'm assuming that you've only done 10 projects. I think it's very important to have an online presence. If you haven't realized, we're on episode 36. We've been talking about the importance of social media from episode 1 pretty much.
Number 6, inconsistent messaging. Mixed messages across different platforms can confuse customers and weaken brand identity. You want to keep it consistent, especially if you run into a scenario where multiple people are running an account. You want to make sure you're in the same page with that other person, so you're not, hey, your pricing can be all over the place. Like, hey, you told me here it's this much, now here it's this much. What's going on? You told me you would do this here, but you're not doing it here for the same price. So just be on the same page, have set pricing strategies. I don't know how.
If you're selling virtually, yes.
Yeah.
There should not be many people selling virtually though. If there's only one setter if they're setting appointments and giving prices, and then there should be a closer, only one closer per account that can sell virtually, give prices virtually. You should not have multiple people giving prices from social media accounts, from your Facebook or whoever is running them. There should be one setter, one closer per account. That way there's no, like for example, I run the business account and then Karmelo runs the business account, and then we have other people running the business account. So we can't have all of us giving prices to customers, because let's say Karmelo gives a different price and they call me and then, or they message me somewhere else, and I give them a different price. They're like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Because a lot of times people will message on Facebook, they'll submit a form online, they'll call, they'll text, they'll leave a voicemail. They go through every outlet because they want to get a fast response. So if they get different answers from everywhere, red flag. Your welcome message or your response to the lead as soon as it comes in needs to be the same throughout all the outlets that you're receiving people, like communications from people. Very important. A lot of people, I notice it, like sometimes I'll message businesses and then they'll be like, it's not a professional response. Or my least favorite way to respond to leads is the automated messages. I hate that. When you get like an automated message, like, oh, thank you for reaching out, we're not available right now. And then they use your username as, I'm like, I've never chose a business to buy anything from when I just get immediately an automated message like that. It looks like if it's a well put message and it feels like it's from a real human, I'm all for it. But if you're just lazy and you're just setting up an automated message that looks like spam or like a robot sent it, then I'm not doing business with you. I'm all for automations if they feel like are natural, because part of a brand, we want, like, especially as a painting business, you want to build that customer relationship, that they're talking to a real person, that from the first initial contact, somebody that cares is across from them, on the other side of the screen or whatever.
Yeah, you don't want the first touch to be an automated message.
Or it can be an automated message, but it has to be a good automated message. Like it came from a person. It can't be like, hey, user.
Hello, thank you for choosing, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We appreciate your trust in us and reaching out to us for your project.
Yeah.
Just very insincere.
Like, you know what, these guys, they don't even deserve my time. I'm moving on to the next business.
Number 7, ignoring analytics. Not tracking performance metrics means missing out on valuable insights to optimize future campaigns. Have we discussed about the terminology on CTR,
No,
CPC? Not yet.
We haven't discussed anything. And then the next episode after this is going to be 10 key metrics that you need to know as a business owner, because 80 to 90%, and I've spoken to business owners that they do millions of dollars a year and they have no idea what those metrics are. And they're spending thousands and thousands of dollars a month with marketing agencies. And then they have no way of understanding those reports, which I feel like as a business owner, you have to be knowledgeable on every aspect of your business. You don't have to be an expert on every aspect of the business, but you have to be knowledgeable. You have to understand reports. You have to know what those metrics mean. That way you can track performance. You can see if a marketing agency is doing good, if a marketing agency is doing bad. Those are I think they're non-negotiable. You have to know those metrics, and that's why we're putting together an episode. For even if you're doing it yourself or you're working with a marketing agency, you have to know those metrics. Because I'll see, for example, click-through. I'll give you like a very brief example. Click-through rate is how many people are seeing your ad and how many people are clicking to your ad and taking action to go on your website, your landing page, your Instagram profile, whatever it might be. And then, because the first thing I do when people reach out to me for our CloudBook stuff is I'm like, are you currently doing any of the advertising? And like, yes, I am. I'm like, are you happy with it? Like, no, I'm not. I'm like, do you know why you're not happy with it? Like, oh, I don't get leads. Everybody thinks they just need leads. But anyways, I'm like, okay, can I see your metrics? I'm like, or I asked them, like, what's your CTR? And I sat in tables with millionaire painters and they didn't know what CTR is. So they had to look through it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's see what it is, your CTR currently. And it's garbage. It's below 1%, which is horrible. It means from every 10,000 people, less than 1% of them goes and clicks on their ads or goes on their website or landing page. It has to be at least 5 and above. That's where you see how good your ad is attracting attention. It's making people click and go to whatever you're sending them. And that's a good metric to see if your ad is performing well or if your advertising is hitting the target audience. Because if you have a high CTR, that way means your ad is hitting the interested customers and they're opting out to the next step, which is whatever, going to your website, landing page, filling in a form, whatever it might be. If your CTR is low, it means it's not reaching the right audience and just getting brushed off because people, they don't care enough to see the ad and then just take action. That's an important metric that you need to know, even if you're running your own ads or you're using a marketing agency, because you need to know those terms to hold the marketing agency accountable. A lot of you complaining out there that the marketing agencies suck, but you suck yourself because you're not educated enough on those basic terms to hold the marketing agency accountable. Or you're not educated enough to create a good offer for the marketing agency to run. Because I see them, they complain all the time, like, oh, this marketing agency sucks. I'm like, okay, what are you making? Why are you not working with them? Why you're not doing your due diligence? And then tell them how to tweak things and try different things. Because that's your responsibility as a business owner. You have to make sure every department of your business is running well. It might start with marketing, financials. Again, you don't have to be an expert, but you have to be educated enough to understand every department of your business and how you can give guidance. Otherwise, if you're not like that, you're just not gonna grow, or you just suck in business in general.
Number 8, outdated tactics. Relying on old marketing strategies that no longer resonate with audiences can hinder effectiveness. For example, paint 3 bedrooms, fourth one free promotions, or I've seen a lot of people down here, they do the benches, which I find the benches or the billboards like a weird strategy
Do the
for
benches like in all the ghetto areas.
yeah, to
It's
advertise
cheap.
for painting. What's your target audience there?
Yeah, like the crackhead that's. And I'll use. Okay, so we'll use a completely different. Not a painter, a lawyer that like Cloud Books, we do the accounting for them. So he was talking to our business partner Shadi, and he was like, "I see you guys doing the marketing and all that." He's like, he just started a business or whatever. I've been thinking about doing billboards. So we're like, okay, what prices were you quoted? Like $10,000 a month on a street that gets about 10,000 traffic a day. And then how many times have you bought something from a billboard? Like, be honest with you, ask yourself. So I'm like, okay, 10,000 a month, you get about, and then you know your thing is not showing all the time. It's like one of those billboards that for like a minute maybe shows your thing, and then it's electronic, and then shows something else. Whatever. Let's say you get 30, 40,000 people look at your billboard. First thing, how do you track conversions from a billboard? And how do you track how many impressions you actually got from the billboard? Which is impossible, I think, unless there's a way. If there is, just somebody DM me, let me know there's a way to track impressions and conversions on how many people actually saw your ad. But 10 G's for the billboard, it just blew my mind. I'm like, really? They're charging that much? I'm like, you know how much damage you can do with 10 G's in paid ads, and how much awareness and how many impressions you can get for 10K? It stretches a long way. And then he was like, yeah, man, yeah, you're right, makes sense. And then we might end up working with him. I mean, we don't specialize, but we might try to run some ads. Again, we're not a marketing agency. We just try to help people understand paid ads with what we know. But I was like mind blown how much they charge for billboards with not a real metric, not a real way to track impressions, track conversions or anything. It's like, hey, I'll put here, this is how many cars drive by. That's it. I'm like, damn, they make a killing charging these people, and there's no real conversion. It's like for the flex, I think. Oh, I have myself up on a billboard. It's the same thing, I think, with the benches and all the other things. There's no way. We like tracking metrics. We like measuring how much. We like measuring everything pretty much. If I put $1, what do I get out of it? And how do I get out of it all the metrics? That's why the outdated ways of billboards, I can think of so many. We've talked about it in the past. TV ads, just mass advertising. I think it's good once you're like at such a scale where you just do it for, like, for example, like Coca-Cola or like these big massive brands. Like, they just do it to do it because they have such big marketing budget, and then they just put it all over. They don't care. But when you're a small business or like a medium-sized business, you have to be able to track your conversions. You have to be able to track what your return on ad spend on every single dollar and on every marketing channel that you're using. And then billboards is not. That's a recent example that I was like, wow, that's a lot of money for spending and kind of being blind and not knowing if you're converting or not.
Another example I can think of was this TV station that's local here reached out to us, and how much was it? Was it 15 or 25,000?
It was something crazy. I was like, dude.
Yeah, and they said we get about 120,000 viewers.
Yeah.
At that time, we were like, oh, okay.
Like, dude,
this is what we can do.
G's, I can get so many leads, and because the other thing with mass advertising like that is it might not be your target audience.
Oh, 100%.
So.
Whereas with the social media advertising, you're hitting people like at different times of the day.
Yeah.
If it's your target audience, they might not be on their phone in the morning. They might be on the phone in the afternoon.
I think I read something how Meta uses WhatsApp, and then they sell the data from like our personal conversations to advertisers. So I was like, wow, no wonder advertising works so well. And then people will just talk about getting their cabinets painted. And the next thing you know, they'll get an ad. I'm like, now it makes sense. Meta is looking at all our conversations and sells all our conversations to advertisers.
Their big brother.
Yeah. So why would I choose the billboard over targeted, showing it to people who are actually interested in my product, in the services I offer? So do your
Pros and cons.
Yeah. I just saw a painting company that put up a billboard. So they put up the billboard, number one. Number two, they were running a discount offer. I'm like, damn, these guys are doing everything wrong, and they're $1 billion company. I'm like, how do they grow like that? It's crazy. Once these guys realize, with the budget they have, what damage they can do from social media, because they're $1 billion company. I think also they realize the power of paid ads. They're gonna just dominate the market. I don't think any of us will be able to compete with them. It's crazy, because they'll dump like millions and millions of dollars in paid ads, and it's gonna buy all ad space, which they haven't realized yet, which is good. But if you guys realize it, call me and we'll consult you and we'll work out a good deal, and I'll show you how to run your ads. That way you can skip a lot of steps, and that way I don't have to compete with you.
Number 9, failure to engage. Not interacting with customers or responding to feedback can create a disconnect and lead to lost loyalty. Speed kills. You need to be on top of a lead as soon as it comes in.
Oh, yeah. So Shadi's making a joke now. He's like, yeah, do you know this accountant guy that says all the time speed kills? I'm like, this guy is stealing our quotes. But it's right. So our partner, he realizes, even in his line of business, which is accounting, how people appreciate and respect how prompt and how fast responds to them. People love it. And that's what sets you apart and makes you a premier brand, and people are willing to pay more for that communication. A lot of you, and even us in the beginning, like we would get a lead and it would take days, hours to respond. And then when the lead comes in, it's the best time to reach out when it comes in. If it takes you 2 days to respond to a lead, they're gonna lose interest. They might be like, they might even forget about you. They might even forget that they submitted a form. So you have to reach out to the customer, to the lead, as soon as the opportunity comes in. It showcases professionalism. It shows you that you're on top of things. And then it shows that you're not a bullshitter. Because I was talking with a guy last night. We're on a business meeting, and he was talking to me about Miami market. So he's like, I'm speaking about expanding down there. I'm like, yeah, you'd kill it down there as long as you respond on time and you show up on time. I was like, those are, and then obviously you have to do good work. But if you do those two main things, respond fast and show up on time, you'll crush it. Not only Miami, but even here in Tampa. Because customers are like, oh, I can't believe you got back to me so fast. And then why they say that? Because they talk to 10 other people. Some of them ghosted. Some of them spent like 20 seconds on the phone. Some of them didn't even answer. So being that different contractor, when you respond right away, when you talk to them right away, you set up an appointment right away, and you give an estimate right away, they're like, wow, I was not expecting to have a price out that fast. The marketing needs to be fast from the initial contact all the way down to the sale, where you give the estimate, or you get into your sales process, and then responding fast. Even I think Facebook will. The faster you respond to the people that message you, will have respond within
a few minutes or something like that,
or whatever, and they'll rank you higher for the faster you respond, or they'll give you a little award badge, fast response, which I truly believe. I haven't verified it yet. I'm not sure, but I think it ranks your ads higher the more responsive you are, which would make sense, right? Mm-hmm. They would want to push somebody's ads higher if they're responding fast. That way they can keep advertising more. So response rates are huge.
A client's interest, I'd say it peaks during the initial touch point or while they're talking to you. If you just let it go for days, they might move on to the next person or contractor or on to the next thing. I don't want to pay my cabinets anymore, man. I just want to look for a vacation now.
Or I remember in the beginning, when we first started getting busy and, I was still working on the field, and it would take me a long time to respond to leads. Or like, I'll be tired of like, oh, fuck, I'll get to it maybe this weekend or whatever. And I would call them up and be like, oh, man, we already found somebody. And that was very reoccurring theme in the beginning stages of the business. I'd be like, oh, we already found somebody. Thank you for calling. I'm like, okay, I got to start calling these leads faster because somebody will get there faster and they'll beat you just because of they were just faster. Speed kills in sales, marketing, everything.
And then number 10, the final reason, overly promotional content. Focusing too much on sales pitches rather than providing value or building relationships can turn potential customers away. Educate your audience. You don't want your feed to just be advertising like, hey, here's us, hire us, all that stuff. Showcase projects, showcase like, hey, this is what we use. This is the reason why we use it. This is our process. This is the process we have to go through. Make educational content too, not just promotional. Have a good mix of both.
Let's say you make 10 posts. You make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 posts of giving value to your customers, showcasing projects, showing them what you did, showing them colors, showing them finishes, showing them techniques, showing them issues that we're having on a job site and how we fixed it. So those are the 9 posts, and the 10th post, you make an ask. Or you're like, hey, free estimate, free consultation. In the beginning, when you're starting out, you cannot be, because you seem desperate. And then especially if you're building your social media presence, you need to follow that rule so you can drive traffic of customers and they want to stay on your page. Then once you have, hundreds of posts and all that, I think, and you're established and you're spending marketing dollars, then you can post whatever. But in the beginning, that's a good rule of thumb to follow. Give value, 9 posts, 1 post, make an ask. And also you can use your stories to sell as well. Use, send us a message for a free estimate on your stories. Or if you're in an exterior, be like, hey, we're doing this exterior today. If you're looking to get a free price, or if you're looking to do the same thing, give us a call, whatever your CTA might be. But when you're building the pages in the beginning, focus on just giving a lot of value and then asking for less. And once you have, hundreds of posts, tons of posts, and you're spending $10,000, $15,000 in paid ads, you can do whatever you want. As long as your offers are good, then you can just crush it. Run one ad, put $10,000 in it, and next thing you know, you're selling $300K worth of work. But it takes a lot of work to get to that level.
I've seen a few of our competitors that have tried to copy our way of running ads and promotions here, and just basically their whole page is just ads, captions copied, everything, the creative somewhat copied too, and they're not performing as good because Instagram is probably flagging them as like, okay, these guys are.
No, it's not flagging them, but again, that's why I don't care about people copying me.
Spam.
Because what I do is I just go in with a crazy big budget and I'll just buy all the ad space, and your ads won't even show. Even if you're copying my ads, they won't perform the same as mine because I'm outbidding all of you. That's why I don't like. It's fine if they copy. It's fine if they do everything, but if you're outbidding them, then you're buying all the ad space. Your ads are the ones who shine. But that's what I'm saying. Be original, because what do you think the customers? Even if they see my ad or your ad, I've been in business for however long I've been in business. My page is massive. If you're just copying me in the same market, who do you think the customer is gonna trust more? He's gonna trust the top dog, right? It's like you go to Walmart or to the grocery store, and then you have Coca-Cola and you have the off-brand cola. They're both advertising, they're both in the same shelf. Because I don't buy the off-brand cola, I go to the big brand.
Because Coca-Cola pays for that shelf space.
Pays for
the eye level shelf space.
So it's the same thing. They're the same product, kind of similar presentation because they're both red, they both say cola, but I still go for the brand name. It's the same thing. If your child copies somebody's ways, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people think that I care that they copy me. No, it's like a compliment to me because it means whatever I'm doing works. I push like, hey, be unique. Do it your own way. That's how you're going to differentiate yourself from the market. If you're just copying what everybody else is doing, then you're just the same fish in the same pond. And then the bigger fish that has more marketing dollars, has better marketing, has better ways of buying media, it's gonna outperform you. And then you'll be like, oh, my ads don't work. I did what this guy is doing. And no, you didn't do what this guy is doing. You just copied a few things that he's doing. And then you're like, oh, it doesn't work. It's the same way. Knockoffs, they still get a small piece of the market, but the big brands will always dominate the market. That's why the best way to approach this is create your own marketing, create your own way of advertising, build your brand. Why should we choose you? Should we choose you just because you're copying this guy? That's not a good metric to make a choice.
It's not a good reason.
It's like what's that website, Temu?
Temu, oh my God.
That you see like, oh yeah, you can buy a Lamborghini knockoff or like a SUV knockoff, and you see that little thing pulls up. It's like for like kid size. It's the same thing.
The Rolex knockoffs for $250.
Yeah, whatever. Just the knockoffs, I mean, they'll still get a small
Piece of the market.
But the brand name, whoever has been doing it for longer, running their ads, has a bigger ad spend, they'll dominate the market no matter what. That's why your best bet is to be different and create a marketing approach, create an offer that'll outdo whatever is existing in the marketplace already.
All right, so that was the 10 reasons why your marketing
sucks. Like a lot of people, they probably get their feelings hurt, but that's and we sucked too. Those are from personal experiences. I sucked at doing all of this. I didn't wake up and I was a marketing genius, which I'm still not. But I was like, okay, let me spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure out how to make it work. And I figured it out. And I'm still learning how to make it better. And then working with others, it's a pattern of recognition. They do the same things exactly. And the more I see it, because I'm a consumer too, I get all your ads. And I see the patterns building up. So that's why we brought up. So if you recognize yourself doing any of this, then now you're aware. Like, okay, let me change number 8, 9, or whatever. It's most likely all 10 that you're doing wrong. If you're doing just a few of them is good, but you're most likely doing all of them, which it's pretty common. Don't feel bad for yourself. Just be aware and figure out how to fix it. Anything else that you'd like to add on?
No, I think that wraps everything up.
Awesome. So that will wrap up this episode of the Dirty Painters podcast.
Be sure to follow our business on Instagram at Olympian Painting, and also our personal pages, Olympian_Redion and Olympian_Karmelo, and keep up with the episodes on the Dirty Painters podcast.
If you like this episode, be sure to share it with a fellow painter or tradie. Until next time, this is Redion.
And I'm Karmelo.
Signing off from Dirty Painters podcast.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.